Asparagus farmers across the region are having a bumper year. Last year's hot summer means they're enjoying record harvests and a sweeter than usual crop. And as that season tails off, it's peak week for strawberries, which means there's plenty to talk about from the Three Counties show in Malvern, where our rural affairs correspondent David Gregory-Kumar is for us right now. So at least one farming sector is looking buoyant then, David.
It is indeed, Nick. Horticulture is about 3% of land use in the Midlands, a tiny amount, yet it contributes about 20% of the total amount agriculture generates for the region, about £350 million. So how does it do it? We went to one farm near Ross-on-Wye to try and find out, and the secret seems to be innovation. Asparagus season traditionally runs from St George's Day through to Midsummer Day, but this year, Cobury Farms near Ross-on-Wye will be harvesting some fields well beyond that. Thanks to some nice weather last summer, we have asparagus a few weeks longer this year. But overall, if you want to extend the asparagus season or the blueberry season, you need to innovate. You need to try new things. The company supplies a third of the asparagus we eat, and they've had huge success in expanding and extending the season itself. But there's always more to do.
What we'd really like is every day we'd like to go out and harvest the same number of kilos of lovely Class 1 asparagus with high sugars, tender to eat. The problem we get is we get a bit of nice weather and we have huge harvests, and then we get some cool weather and the harvests are pathetic.
So these days it's not just about extending the season, it's about evening out those peaks and troughs in the harvest itself, and that's a huge challenge, but they are working on it. Meanwhile, here's their latest success at expanding a traditional season, the earliest ever British blueberries. But none of this innovation is easy.
We'll be waiting through several growing years before in the third year maybe we'll get something to show for our money. And really it's only 10 years maybe after that we really know whether it's been a success, because the payback periods are long on these products. We need a good few years of harvest before we know where we are. So it's, but that's the game we're in, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
But when it does work, the end result is more British produce on the supermarket shelves and more jobs and cash in the local economy. Now, as you can see in my report, asparagus cut by hand, of course, usually by a migrant workforce. That's fairly typical in this sector, strawberries, blueberries and so on. So what will happen if the government decides to clamp down on immigration as it's promised? How might that affect the migrant workers who come here to collect our crops? Well, we asked Farming Minister George Eustice earlier at the show.
This government wants us to reform our relationship with the EU so that it's more sensible, so that we have some powers coming back. We want to stop paying benefits to people who then send those benefits back to their country. But we do want to have free movement of people for those who want to come here and work. So I think the farming industry will still be able to find all of the labour that they need to satisfy their needs.
So if you look around the show, you'll see lots of things to see and do all the rest of this weekend as well, but also lots of sign of this innovation, and once again in horticulture, in sectors like strawberries, for example. With me is Tom from the Strawberry Stop. Tom, what is it you're trying to do? Your family's been doing strawberries for 45 years. What are you doing that's different?
So I set up a business called the Strawberry Stop, and we do strawberries and creams at local events and national events, so music festivals, farmers markets, food festivals, and we also do private functions and weddings.
And what are you doing that's different?
So we use a local dairy in Herefordshire, and we flavour our creams with chocolate, caramel, Irish cream, and top it with gourmet toppings. And we also do strawberry cocktails and strawberry lemonade, anything to do with strawberries basically.
And surely strawberries and cream, the classic, must be the favourite.
It's not actually, it's probably the least we sell. The actual favourite is Irish cream, of course.
Tom, thank you very much for that. So there you go, innovation in how they grow products in horticulture sector, and innovation in what they do with them when they sell them to us. That's one of the reasons this sector is doing so well and contributing £350 million to the economy here in the Midlands. Nick?
David, thank you.